we're going to start fitting up the quarter panel by fitting more precisely this inner quarter panel here. And as I mentioned before, this car had some collision damage right there, which wrinkled the corner, has some secondary ripples up in here, and I believe bowed this out a little bit. To compound matters, this edge, this lower edge here was a little rusty. You can see I've cut the piece out, and you may not see it in the film here, but there are some pinholes there. So we have a new piece to weld in. The theory being we'll bring the new quarter panel down maybe to about here, and the flange on the new quarter panel, the quarter panel repair patch, will roughly meet up with that one. There's also a groove there for the attachment of the bumper filler panel. But in any case, it's important that we get this curve here around the corner accurate. And to do so, we look at the other non-hit side of the car. And what we've done is created two templates. That would be right here. Driver's side, line the arrow up with the seam there, and you can see that's a pretty accurate representation of that curve. And again, this is the unhit side. While it does have a little bit of rust damage here, it's pretty true to the factory lines. We also have this other portion of the pattern to measure from this respect as well. So just pieces of cardboard cut out, mocked up. We flip this pattern over, and lighting's bad. We flip this pattern over, and we can see that we're not too terribly far off. And of course, I have the inner quarter in there, which gives this a little bit of shape, but we'll need to refine that shape as we weld in this patch piece, which really firms up the shape of that corner. And just to reaffirm, let's take it this way with this template. And boy, this light really stinks. Yeah, pretty much indicates the same thing, that we're pretty close right here. We'll monitor that as we weld up that corner tab. To refine the shape of this tab to put in, and of course ultimately the corner here, we've drawn the outline of the sheet metal on here. We're going to grind away that piece, and we also mock it up to the template here to reaffirm the general shape based on that line. So we'll be grinding that much away and then welding that flush with this edge right here. So we got that piece welded on. Of course, there's a little hole up here we need to address. The templates, let's take a look. This one's this one's pretty close. So I think we got that curve pretty good. And just to reaffirm with this template, with the line right there, and there we're good as well. And what we did to hold that little piece of metal in place, a couple of dollar store magnets here up on the inside, and held the piece in place nicely just so we got the first couple of tacks in. MIG welder set on second setting, which is sort of medium hot, and a series of spot welds, and we have that in there pretty nicely. One final sanity check. We put our bumper filler panel here, and we look at, or we can notice that curve is pretty close, so we're in good shape. So we've got the inner quarter mocked up again, and it fits pretty nice around the back corner here. What we need to do is trim this off and trim this fender lip off here so we can fit the quarter panel up higher. That's the replacement quarter panel up higher in the proper position, and get it mocked up and closer to cut to fit for welding in. So I've got the rear section cut out here to allow the quarter to slide up into position. I've dollied this out a level so it doesn't force the quarter panel down more than need be. And also cut off this lip right here so we could fit the quarter panel up pretty tight. In doing that, I realized that this piece was up a little too high, so I ended up pulling the screws, welding the screw holes shut, putting it back up and re-drilling it with the quarter panel in place, held with magnets, in order to get this line correct. So you can see it fits in there pretty tight, and then the quarter's mocked up. it fits pretty good as well. So the next step is to fit the fender skirt.